In the ruins of ancient Babylon, there lived a man who discovered a secret so powerful, it still creates wealth nearly 100 years later. In 1926, George Samuel Clason published a book that would become one of the most influential financial classics ever written, The Richest Man in Babylon. But this wasn't a book about stocks, charts, or complicated economics. It was about human behavior and the timeless laws of wealth. The story follows two men living in Babylon. One was a skilled chariot builder, the other a talented musician. Both worked hard, both were respected, and both were broke. So they went searching for answers from their childhood friend, Arcad, the richest man in Babylon, a man whose gold never seemed to run out. The more he spent, the more his wealth grew. And when they asked him his secret, Arcad gave them a lesson that would change their lives forever. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. One sentence, one principle, and yet most people ignore it their entire lives. The average person gets paid, then immediately gives their money away. Rent, bills, subscriptions, restaurants, car payments, entertainment. And at the end of the month, nothing remains. But the wealthy think differently. Before they pay anyone else, they pay themselves first. Arcad taught that at least 10% of every coin earned should belong to you, permanently. Not to spend, not to touch, but to build your future. Because wealth is not built by how much you earn. It's built by how much you keep. And once you keep it, you must make it work. Money sitting idle slowly dies. But invested money becomes a worker that never sleeps. This was the second law of gold. Make your money multiply. The rich understand something most people never learn. Every pound can become an employee, one that works day and night bringing back more money. That's why wealthy people buy assets, businesses, stocks, real estate, investments that generate income while they sleep. Meanwhile, most people spend their future income on temporary pleasures. A nicer car, new clothes, another night out. Things that lose value the moment they're purchased. The poor buy liabilities. The rich buy cash flow. But Arcad warned of another danger. A danger that destroys fortunes every single day. Bad advice. He taught, gold clings to the protection of the cautious owner. In other words, never trust money to people who don't understand money. Yet millions do exactly that. They invest based on hype, social media, news headlines, friends, hot opportunities, and then wonder why they lose everything. Imagine trusting a random stranger to perform heart surgery. You wouldn't do it. So why trust financial advice from people who have never built wealth themselves? The wealthy seek wisdom before they seek profits. They learn from proven people. And that leads to the fourth law. Never invest in something you don't understand. This is where most people fail. They chase trends, crypto hype, guaranteed returns. Too good to be true investments, because greed blinds judgment. A man hears about a can't-miss opportunity, jumps in emotionally, and loses years of savings overnight. Not because he was unlucky, because he was uninformed. If you don't understand how something makes money, you should never invest in it. Period. And finally, the fifth law of gold. The law that destroys dreamers chasing shortcuts. Arcad warned against the desire to get rich quickly. Because the moment people become desperate, they gamble. They chase impossible returns, risk everything, and fall for schemes promising easy money. But wealth has never been built on luck. It has always been built on discipline. Slowly, patiently, consistently. That is the real secret. The rich are not always smarter. They simply follow principles most people ignore. Spend less than you earn. Pay yourself first. Invest wisely. Seek knowledge. Avoid greed. Simple lessons, but followed consistently over years. They can completely transform a person's life. That is why the richest man in Babylon remains powerful nearly a century later. Because human nature hasn't changed, and neither have the laws of wealth.